Shark in the Park was my first ever screen job, and David Copeland, the director of that particular episode, pretty much, as far as I can tell, fought tooth and nail to get me into it. And I've seen it, and I'm sad to say I let him down, but it was a formative experience for me, and it mattered that I had a guy like David backing me. But yeah, it wasn't that it was awful, but I had a lot to learn, and when I saw it, I was quite devastated by how not up to par I was. She was 1 year ahead of me at drama school, and always working with Teresa is just so easy. She's a pro, and I like to think I'm a pro, and so we had a lot of fun. And it meant that, you know, Mark Beasley, the director, and Steve Sachs, and, you know, there was very creative in that way. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to put you here and point the camera that way. It was a pretty wild shoot. Have you heard about that shoot from other actors? Yeah, it was a wild shoot. In a great way, it really was. It was one of the epic, kind of mad film shoots I've ever been on. In a very creative, terrific way. It was a lot of fun. I'd never done multicam, 3-camera shoot, studio mostly. I'd never done it, and so for me it was terrific in that for the first time I didn't have to worry about continuity. It was kind of like doing vignettes, theatre, skits almost, because you'd come in and you could do these 3-minute scenes in one take. It took me a while to get that good, but, you know, to be that comfortable with it. But once you got the hang of it, 3-camera, multi-camera shoot can be extremely satisfying, and I always enjoyed the opportunity that exists in that particular framework to put in little minutiae, little bits of humanity. Me, Kevin Harrington and Alan Fletcher used to quite regularly try to put into shots, because we were all quietly going bald, you know, in real life. And so we'd every now and then just, you know, whenever there was a crowd scene or whatever, we'd try our very best in the back of someone else's shot to do a sort of a, just to check it, or we'd be doing this kind of stuff. Just putting in these little bits of, you know, that you see of people doing at bus stops and airports and stuff. You know, I loved all that. I loved that stuff you can fit in. There was this one scene where I have to run along and go, hey, to someone, and then, you know, keep running. And I thought it'd be quite funny to go, hey, and run and, you know, smash into some rubbish bins. We ended up doing 3 takes. The first time cameraman wasn't quite right. I think maybe the second, maybe a boom got it, or I don't know, wasn't good. But the third take just like, boom. And I knew it was good. And the thing was, I came running along and I fell over these rubbish bins, and it was a good slapstick, man. It was a mess. And I stood up to run away, and it's good, you know, doing that, I'm fine, running away. And it was awesome. And, you know, they call it doctor theatre, or actors do anyway. It just felt great. You know, about 20 seconds later, I was, oh, jeez. And what I'd done is I'd caught one of the rubbish bins, like, right on my sternum, and it just, like, caved. And for months I had, like, that thing where you take a deep breath, and it was bruised, so you go, oh. But it was funny. To be frank, I didn't think I was correctly cast, but everyone around me assured me I was, which was nice. And I just got more and more out of control as the show went on. I think I might have licked a toilet seat at some point. I don't know. I think I did some stuff they said was not acceptable to go to air, not because it wasn't good, but because it was actually beyond the bounds of good taste. I don't know. I think if maybe there could have been an adult version. But anyway, that again was just a supporting role. Well, I loved the character, though. I loved the alcoholic dad with a heart of gold, you know. You couldn't trust him as far as you can spit him, but he means well. You know, it's just nuts. It was good fun, a lot of fun. But I thought they were aiming at something pretty gritty and really confronting. I liked it. And I really, I thought the design elements in the piece, yeah, it was exciting to work on that for me. I mean, I was cool because I'd been told, no, don't worry, you don't have to take your shirt off, because, you know, frankly, that would be a disaster for them and me. But yeah, and it was really fun to see Manu Bennett working, you know, because most of what he'd been doing, I was in Australia when he was really gearing up. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of those core Gladiator guys, really just admirable kind of commitment they put in there. And I was really pleased that we had a show in Auckland that was doing as well as it did do in America. We need that, it's good for us. I was a highly paid extra, let's be frank. You know, I was the over-shoulder guy. I either started the scene by exiting or ended the scene by entering. I don't care, that's fine. I still got paid, and it was, you know, it's kind of interesting to watch actors whose careers are at the levels of Elizabeth Moss and David Wenham. I didn't get to work with Holly Hunter. But, you know, I do know that almost all the Kiwi actors who worked on it were happy to be there. You know, there was no like, oh, we should have leads. I mean, if you want that kind of production, then you need that kind of money, and to get that kind of money, you need those kind of names. That's the ugly truth. I liked the style. Yeah, I liked the style of it, that they were not trying to make... it felt very much to me like they wanted the story just to happen rather than do all that storytelling acting that you're often asked to do, especially in copy type roles where you've got to do that kind of thinking acting. And then you've got to think again, and then they cut to something. There was very little demand for that. It's great to work, you know, interesting to work with Sam Neill. It was terrific to work with Oscar. I thought as a lead character and one of the writers on it, he had a, you know, that's quite a weight to carry. He carried it very well. And when I saw it in the end, I thought, wow, good for them. They've made a cop show that stands up. I'm really proud of it. It's a terrific little film, and it was written by and starring Sophie Val, Nee Henderson, and directed by her partner Curtis Val, and produced by Sarah Cook, shot by Ian McCarroll, art department, Brant, Kylie Cook in costumes. You know, just a lot of people who've been doing this for a long, long time came on board to work for not very much to make a story about us, for us, by us. And I thought, when I saw it on screen, I thought, well, thank goodness for that. That is taxpayers' money well spent. And although it's probably not going to have much of a run in the cinemas, it'll show up on, you know, Māori TV might play it. Well, they're bound to play it, I'm sure. It'll show up. And who knows? It's gone into the canon of New Zealand filmmaking, and I'm proud to have been a part of that. It was really good to be involved with a show that's shot on such small budget but with such high hopes, and yet not above hopes beyond its ability to achieve them. It's pretty much set in one location, has 5 core characters, and has a story to tell about humans. It was good. I've been in almost everything, and yet there are other shows I've gone Mazir on, and which is to say I haven't won a trick. You know, I've been told by inebriated people in positions of power, you know, oh, you were perfect for the role, but we just couldn't cast you. We need to, and, you know, the worst thing you can ever hear is we've written a wonderful role for you. It's like, well, great, so that's good news for someone else. You know, there's all this stuff you get to my age in your career, my level of experience, that you kind of look back on and go, yeah, put that one down to experience. So yeah, I've been in a lot, but I've never actually had, in New Zealand anyway, an ongoing core cast main character, whereas I have in Australia and in Canada. And I would say my role in Spartacus, although it wasn't core, it was certainly a character which carried a lot of the story. And I'm often bemused by why that is. I don't quite get why it is that I'm sort of more successful elsewhere as far as New Zealand screen goes.